Hello, my friends. You probably have already figured this out if you have even slightly seen the rest of this post, but maybe you haven't heard of me before. Maybe this is your first time of seeing me. Maybe you've been following for a while and can kind of see what was going to come. But I thought this would be good to make a video as well because it is a monster long blog post that I wrote with it, and then you can really feel me talking from the heart here. I didn't want to kind of hold anything back. I didn't want to, hide behind a screen. I wanted you to see this is coming from me, from being real, running for real after all. But I wanted to share this in person as well. My big news is that I have decided it is time for me to step away from running. I am a professional runner. Yeah, I am 28 years old, probably what many would consider at the peak of their career. I mean, it was just a year ago I ran for Great Britain in the World Championship. 4 months ago I ran another PR in the marathon of 2:36, but I've been struggling for a while. You probably, if you follow me through my blog or through social media, have seen this. You've probably seen that I've really been having a hard time, and I've just, I just was doing everything that I could to get back and get that fire back. But I think for a while now, I've known that this was the thing I needed to do. I did need to step away. I couldn't quite admit it, and now I've said it aloud, it feels right. When GCAM came along, Gold Coast Marathon, they offered to fly me out there. I was so excited, and I thought this was the thing I was looking for. This was the like silver bullet that I was hoping was going to be like the kickback, and I would finally get into shape. And I also had the London Marathon pacing thing. I was going to pace the 2:28 group at the London Marathon. I mean, how amazing of an opportunity was that? I mean, I could be helping the Great Britain runners, the best in the country, to run their time, and I had this amazing opportunity, but all I saw it as was pressure. Like I wasn't ready, and I was getting slower, and I was struggling more and more. So the more I kind of tried to force it, the worse it got, until I finally reached a point a few weeks ago where I was given an out. I was doing a track workout. The day I was due to fly back to the US, I had a track workout, and some people, ironically, people that the track that I used to train on, where my running career all began, they came out onto the track. I was doing my workout early in the morning, and they said, "You're not supposed to be on here." And I kind of tried to argue with them for a minute and say, like, please just let me finish. Like, I need to fly back to the US. This is my only option. And they were like, no. And usually if that happens, I would have been really frustrated and flustered, but I would have gone on to do my workout somewhere else. And I did have a path just outside of the track. But that moment for me it gave me an out, and I'd been looking for an out for the past few months. I'd been running along thinking to myself, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm done. And like when you are a runner, you often have those thoughts of, I can't do this, or this is too hard, or I'm not strong enough, I'm not fast enough. But the last few months have been different. Every run I was struggling, every workout I wasn't even looking at my watch anymore because I'd given up. I knew if I looked at my watch and I knew my paces, I would never finish because I was just getting slower and slower. But the more I knew I was getting slower by looking at the paces afterwards, not even looking during, because I knew that I wouldn't finish my workouts if it came to it. But when I would look afterwards, I knew I was getting slower, and it wasn't even that I was getting closer to fitness. I was running 90 miles a week, and I kept trying to force it more and more, and the more I struggled, the more I pushed, and it just wasn't working. And then that track workout came, and it gave me that out. It gave me that way of saying, I'm done. I couldn't have possibly done this. And yes, I could have, but the reality is my mind was in a different place. Instead of thinking I can't do this, it was I don't want to do this, and that gave me the way out. And I just broke. I mean, I didn't even start my watch. I ran home, and pretty much I fell into the hallway of my parents' house, just like crying my eyes out, like absolutely heartbroken. And just couldn't believe it. Like, Jess and Charlotte had come over that morning to say goodbye to me, and there they were, like my sister, like one of the people that means more to me in the world than anyone else, standing there with this beautiful little baby. And it just, they were just looking at me concerned, like, what was wrong? What could I possibly be so upset about? And I think I knew at that moment that it was time for me to step away from running. I'd lost my joy in it. I'd lost my passion. It had become a thing about getting it done. Every single run became like, just get through it. I wasn't looking forward to it. I was dreading my runs, and I just kept trying to force it, and it wasn't coming, and it was so hard. But I think I knew it deep down, and that moment allowed me to kind of let it come to the surface. I reached a breaking point. So Steve and I agreed that day that I was going to take 5 days off. So I did. I took 5 days off running. We decided that London Marathon was kind of out, helping pace that. It was putting too much pressure on me, but we knew that I still had Gold Coast Marathon in July. I had plenty of time, and I was going to take 5 days off after the London Marathon pacing anyway. So we thought, okay, 5 days, kind of decide where you're at. So I did. And that 5 days was tough. Emotionally, I was going through a lot of turmoil, going through all the what ifs, like, am I wasting my talent? What if I'm going to regret this? What if I keep going and I keep getting worse and worse, and then I start struggling? And what if I let the pressure of GCAM, and, like, not that they were putting pressure on me, but the pressure from myself of having to perform, what if I let that kind of come, to the front of my mind, and let it overtake me? And then what if I do give up running, and I look back in 5 years and think, why did you do that? Or the other way, what if I keep running and then I suddenly am 40 years old and I haven't started a family and it's too late? There were so many what ifs and so many struggles, and it was so hard for me to kind of figure out what was going on. But I'll always remember the moment I decided it, when I was sitting with Steve and I finally said it out loud, like, I think I'm ready to stop. And, it was hard to say it, but once I said it, I felt relief. And I think that's when you've made the right decision, because that whole 5 days I was like pleading with my heart. I'm a very intuitive person, and I kept saying, just tell me what's the sign, what direction should I go? And I wasn't getting an answer, but I did hear a little voice towards the end of that 5 days saying, it's okay, you can step away, like, you can always come back to it. But I just felt like it was time, and once I said it, I felt better for saying it. And honestly, I don't believe this is the end. I don't believe I'm never going to run again. And in fact, I'm not going to not run. I'm taking 3 to 4 weeks of nothing, no exercise whatsoever. And then I'm going to do what I feel like. If I want to go for a half an hour run, I'm going to go for a half an hour run. If I get 10 minutes out and I say, you know what, don't feel like running today, I'm going to turn around. If I want to go to a trampolining class, I want to go horse riding. That's something I gave up for running all those years ago. But I'm going to start focusing on things I enjoy and doing things that I want to do for now. And then I would like starting a family to become a priority. So I do think my next big goal will be to come back. Someday I want to come back. I want to be stronger than ever. But right now, after 14 years of train, race, rest, train, race, rest, I haven't had more than 2 weeks of no running in 14 years. And I just feel like I've fallen out of love with running, and I believe that it's going to come back, but for now it's just not there. And the more I was forcing it, the more I was starting to despise it, and that was the last thing I wanted to do. But I want to focus on you guys. I want to focus on helping other people with their running, sharing my experiences and helping you to become the best runner you can be, leading you, showing you what worked for me, and this is what can work for you. And I really feel like the more I can give to this community, the more I can help other people, the more I'm going to feel alive. Because I am feeling a little bit lost right now. That's the thing. Like, I don't quite feel like myself. I feel like I'm rediscovering who I am. And as much as I say to people, don't tie your identity to being a runner or being what you do, I had done it myself. And so I am kind of learning who I am, but the more that I can help you guys and know that I'm making a difference is going to be so huge. So if I can help you, please let me, and please join the Running for Real community and kind of get involved with this buzz, because I really want to help other people. So then there's another part to this. That's why this is such a monster long post. There's something I'd been hiding for all these years. I felt like such a fraud. Like there was me saying to you guys, oh, I'm so honest, I'm so real. And then I was hiding my biggest secret, something, and it made me feel like I felt like such a deceptive, like, liar, because I wasn't telling you what was going on, but I was afraid. I was scared of how people were going to treat me. I was scared people were going to start offering me advice and telling me, you should do this, you should do that, because this is something that isn't talked about, but I'm fed up of it. I want to be the face. I want to be the one that kind of says this is not okay, it's not healthy, and it can be treated and it can be helped. I said I haven't stopped running. I haven't stopped running in all that time, but I have stopped now. My biggest secret, I guess, you probably already can see it, but I have amenorrhea. I haven't had a period in 9 years. I haven't had regular periods in 12 years. And, I've been to probably 12, 15 maybe specialists. I've had my nutrition analyzed by all kinds of consultants, nutritionists, everything. And they all say it's not nutritional. It's not a too low body fat percentage. It's not your diet. You're getting all the right foods. It's literally the training intensity. And I can trace that back because, when I first started running with intensity, when I was about 15, 16, that's when my periods first started disappearing, was when I added the intensity. And I wasn't running that many miles overall, and my body weight was a lot bigger than it is now, and I still didn't have them. But it was just the intensity. So, I've realized that there are other reasons that people have amenorrhea, and I want to change this. I know that eating is a huge part of it, and that is always the number one thing to address. But that's why I did address that like a year ago. I changed my diet completely. I started focusing on rest. I started doing all the things people recommended to help get your period back, except the one thing I knew in my heart I needed to do, which was stop running. But I wasn't ready to do it yet. So I just kind of put it aside, and I got my body in a place that it would be ready to have one when I did stop running, and now is that time. So my number one focus right now is my health and getting my period back. Once I have that back, I want to keep it. And I realized that by no means am I super skinny, but at the same time, I know that's probably going to involve gaining weight. I know I am going to gain weight. And at the same time of addressing this amenorrhea issue and things that so many people have but are afraid to talk about, I want to address the body image issue. I mean, you guys probably know that I'm really passionate about this. I'm passionate about showing people that there is no look like a runner. You don't have to, have that vein coming down your arm. You don't have to be, 100 pounds or under to be a good runner. You've got to be the best you can be. And, I figured if I can go from being a professional runner where you can see every muscle in my body, where my definition is really strong, if I can go from that to losing my muscle definition, to getting soft, to gaining weight, and I can learn to love my body for what it is, then hopefully you guys can do that too and join me in this movement, because I really want to make a difference. I really want to change this because I was ashamed to admit I had amenorrhea, and I shouldn't have been, but I was. And but I've had enough. My goal now is to build a 5-star baby hotel that someday in the next few years I can try and start for a family. And I don't know if we're going to have any issues. We haven't even looked into that yet, but I want to start getting my body into a place where I can be healthy. And I know taking out the running intensity and the schedule is a big part of that, but I want to do everything I can. And I hope if you guys are in a similar position, this will help you, and I hope I can be a role model for other people as well. So to tell you that if you don't have a period, it's not healthy. Like, all these specialists and tests I had said, oh, you're healthy in every single way. Well, clearly I'm not. So, don't be afraid to keep digging. And, if you are going through this, I want to help. So I guess the next thing is that, as I said, I'm going to be going through a lot of changes over the next few months. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to tell you what's going on with me. I'm going to share how I'm really feeling. But I am going through a bit of a transition. I realized that I'm probably going to lose a lot of my sponsors. I'm going to lose that elite runner status. And yeah, I mean, I guess I'm putting it on hold. I'm an elite runner taking a break, but still, I have to be prepared to kind of let go of that and become someone else and grow as a person. I don't believe it's going to take away from me. I just think I'm going to learn to grow. But I just wanted to give you guys a warning that, I might be going through some ups and downs, but I promise to be real with you and share them with you. And for now, I want my focus to become you guys. Like, I don't hate running. Don't be afraid to tell me about your running accomplishments, because that's why I was brave and took that stop when I did, because I knew if I kept going, if I kept forcing it, I wouldn't love running anymore and I would hate it. And I wouldn't, anytime anyone brought up, oh, running, I did this, I'd be like, oh, I don't care, I don't want to know. I didn't want to get to that point. I want to hear about your running. I want to help you with your running. So let me help you. Please join the Running for Real community. I'm working so hard on getting this going. My podcast is launching on the 14th of April. So I hope you will subscribe to the Running for Real podcast. And yeah, I just want to focus on you guys. I want to help in any way that I can. And mostly I want to thank you. I want to thank my wonderful sponsors for being there for me for my running career. I want to thank everyone who's helped me reach that number one running goal and, everything beyond. I'm so proud of what I've managed to accomplish, and I can look back and smile knowing that I really did give my best. And like I said, I believe in my heart I will be back someday, and I believe it will be stronger than ever. But for now, I need to focus on my health, and I need to find the love of running again for what it is. So, and I just, one more thing I want to say. I'm not saying you should stop. If you're struggling, this doesn't mean just stop running. Maybe take a 5-day break or a 2-week break to reset that emotion and physical body and see how you feel if you are feeling burned out. But I just wanted to share what I know is in my heart. By me saying it out loud, I know it was the right choice for me. Yeah, I really hope that we can kind of be there for one another on this journey. Thank you so much for listening to this, for reading my blog, for supporting me. Please subscribe to my blog. You can fill out the little form that's below this if you want to. If you want to join me and kind of hear updates. I promise I won't spam you. I'm not that kind of person. I just want to share with you my insights. So thank you for watching. Thank you for always being there for me. And I look forward to hearing all about your running accomplishment or your life accomplishments. Even if you're not a runner, how can I be there for you? So thank you. And yeah, that's my news.